Hold on tight, because what happened while most folks were catching some Z's isn't your run-of-the-mill court update. It's one of those pivotal twists that historians circle in red ink years later, whispering, "That's when the tide turned." As the East Coast stirred awake, a subtle seismic shift rippled out from the federal appeals court in D.C., rattling nerves in legal eagles' nests, Capitol Hill war rooms, and campaign bunkers nationwide. In the wee hours, that court dropped a bombshell ruling that's got experts from Ivy League law profs to Beltway insiders buzzing, not for any fireworks or drama, but for its icy precision and breakneck speed. Picture this. Trump's lawyers lobbed an emergency Hail Mary late last night, begging for a timeout on the proceedings while they hashed out this thorny presidential immunity debate. Normally, these pleas get the deluxe treatment, days or weeks of pondering, extra briefs, maybe a hearing or two to chew over the nuances. Courts love to signal they're grappling with big league stuff. But nope, not this time. The judges fired back in record time. No chit-chat, no clarifications needed, just a flat-out denied from the whole panel, united like a stone wall. In legalese, that's a per curiam smackdown, zero wiggle room for splits or second guessing. What really perked up the pros wasn't just the velocity, but the vibe. The court painted the actions in question as way outside the presidential playbook, stressing they weren't your everyday Oval Office moves. When appellate judges drop lines like that, they're not just umpiring a spat. They're etching a boundary in granite. And that boundary? It cuts straight to a question that's haunted U.S. politics for ages, but rarely faced the music. Can an ex-president dodge criminal heat for stuff done in the name of clinging to power? This used to be fodder for dusty journals and classroom hypotheticals. Boom, now it's primetime reality. The panel's logic screams clarity. This ain't some foggy constitutional riddle. It's a straight-up gatekeeper call on whether the behavior even smells like official duty. Their verdict? Hard no. That domino tips over into everything else, speeding up trials, motions, you name it. When appeals folks telegraph that immunity's a dud, it's not slamming one gate. It's greasing the skids for the whole machine. Adding my 2 cents here, think of it like a stalled traffic jam suddenly clearing. Cars, or in this case, cases, surge forward and good luck pumping the brakes. This stands out starkly against history's playbook. Back in the day, presidential pickles got sidestepped via quits, pardons, or backroom deals. The system flexed to shield the throne, dodging the tough tests. Not anymore. The gears are grinding ahead, full steam. Behind the curtains, recalibrations are frantic. Trial judges tuning in, prosecutors tweaking calendars, defense squads scrambling to salvage stall tactics, and none of it syncs with election vibes. The law's clock ticks blind to polls or primaries. Then there's the eerie quiet from upstairs. Pundits bet on the Supremes or others swooping in to hit pause. Zilch so far, no stays, no hints of fast-track reviews. In D.C., that hush roars louder than a presser. Right now, the engine's humming unchecked, and as dawn breaks, the political terrain feels altered. Not a slam-dunk win or loss, but a hurdle vaporized, unleashing inertia. Courts whisper countdowns through deeds, not declarations, and post-ruling, the tempo's cranked. Fast forward to the fallout. That appeals nod ignited a chain that's tough to snuff. In the Capitol's echo chambers, it wasn't shrugged off as routine rejection. It rang like a judicial memo. No more kid gloves for core accountability questions, even with an ex-prez in the mix. Eyes snap to the lower courts pronto. Judges aren't islands. A bold appellate move shrinks stalling space below. Bottom line, immunity's armor's dented, handing the reins to the procedural timer, a beast that outmuscles egos, spin, or surveys. Federal justice runs on rails, not vibes. Clear a key snag, and judges must chug along. No loitering for ideal optics or because the accused is stumping for votes. For Trump's crew, this nukes plan A. Delay, delay, delay. Not to crush the case, but to outlast it. Shoving past pivotal dates till time itself plays goalie. Last night's curveball shreds that playbook. And it doesn't quarantine to one docket. The framing of acts is non-official. It's copy-paste gold for other battles cited by DAs, nodded to by benches, dodged by defenses. Waves crash instantly. On the political front, operatives, fat cats, and party wonks are crunching numbers. Not on justice, but ops. What if hearings hijack rallies, trials eclipse town halls, legalese leaks into stump speeches, abstracts like could this stick morph to brass tacks? When? How swift? How stacked? Psychologically, it's sneaky potent, too. Courts ooze caution, so warp speed rulings scream, this ain't debatable. Certainty? Defense's kryptonite. From my vantage, it's like poker. A quick call means a monster hand, folding foes fast. Law enforcement's radar's up, not for one blip, but the storm it stirs. Heat up legal fires and rhetoric boils over. They've got playbooks from yesteryear's clashes, prepping without fanfare. Surface calm belies the sync-up. Courts, feds, security sinking to a rhythm where fog lifts and deadlines solidify. No top-tier halt in sight. That's flipping scripts citywide, assuming the ride's full throttle, no exits, realigns the board. This isn't splashy yet. No cuffs, no gavels banging. But under the hood, pressure morphs from maybe to must deal. It's personal now. High rollers aren't solo acts. Entourages of aides, attorneys, insiders weigh their skins. Courts greenlight momentum, risk math flips, stonewalling sours, spilling beans, sweetens deals. Prosecutors hoard solid stuff, sworn words, digital trails, but time and flips are their jet fuel. Delays fizzle, leverage skyrockets via quiet chats, not spotlights. Public bluster clashes with court cool, rally roars, thrill crowds, but irk robes, tweets for the base, fodder for files on tone, trends, patterns ping radars, security amps subtly too, echoing lessons from recent ruckuses, coordination spikes, sans headlines. It's the system's quiet pulse, wiser from scars. The rub, parallel tracks galore, feds ignore states, appeals don't freeze trials, sans orders, balkanized by design, no master kill switch. For tacticians, that's chaos cubed, uncertainty, manageable, locked dates, campaign killers, pitting briefs against ballots, eroding spin's grip. Courts bow to rules, not reals. The real scoops, the non-news. No blanket freeze, no divine intervention, no reset button. Gears grind on logic alone. Why this chapter's clutch? It's dry, dense, dull to outsiders, but it's outcome shaping. Docket dates, cutoff calls, nixed postpones, baby steps snowballing to irreversibles. This brew's the stormiest brew. Forces fuse, law, politics, psyche, colliding, not cruising separate lanes. Control, scarce commodity. For Trump, the wild card's self. Shrinking paths spark outward lashes. Barbs sharpen, blames broaden, foes multiply. Politically base bait, legally alarm bells. Sleuths skip guesses when deeds self-document. Digital eternity via snaps, stamps, stashes. Reviewable anytime under lights. Orbiters hit forks. Loyalty shines in theory, crumbles concrete. Dates, dough drains, slammer shadows, tainted trails. Coup flips from taboo to tactic. DAs master that dance. Weeks ahead eclipse any splash. Back channel bargains, testimony gels, proof polishes. Juries crave real, not reals, set pre-curtain. Politically, undercurrents show, pals pipe down, phrases finesse, quiet computes, not bafflement, bet hedging. Velocity reached, dodge beats defend, calendar looms largest, bench ignores ballots, no reskins for rhetoric, law scoffs at electoral excuses, engaged, it advances absent override, no such shadow yet, dawns truth for the nation, not climax, not closure, but creepier inexorability. Events exit negotiation, enter institutional mills, deliberate, detached, power-proof. Accountability's not if, it's how, who, what unearthed. Days dawn procedural, techie, yawn-worthy at glance, but those forge fates.